Okay, so first of all, I want to calculate the Spearman's rank correlation between these two data sets. In Excel, there is a correlation formula, which is equals correl, and then you just select the first range, and then the second range, and press enter, and this will give you a correlation, but this is a Pearson's correlation. Also, with this formula, it doesn't matter which way round you select the ranges. So if I select this one first and then this one, you can see I end up with the same number. I can also plot these ranges by selecting them and then pressing Alt F1 and then adding in a trend line and selecting the trend line and pressing Ctrl 1. This will open up the formatting bar, and I can choose to display R squared value on chart. And this will add in an R squared value. I'm going to make the font on this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And then this R squared value is actually this correlation squared. If I change the number of decimal places here, you can see this number here is the same as this number here. So this is the R, and then this is the R squared value. Then for the Spearman's correlation, you actually need to rank these values from biggest to smallest. So I'm going to copy the headings, and then I'm going to rank these values using the rank average formula. And this returns the rank of a number in a list of numbers, its size relative to other values in the list. If more than one value has the same rank, the average rank is returned. So for this formula, I'm going to select this number and then this range. And what it is going to do is look at this number, and then it's going to rank its position in this range. Then for the order, I'm going to select descending order and close brackets, and I'm going to change this range to an absolute reference by pressing F4 to insert the dollar signs so it doesn't move around when I click and drag the formula. Then I am going to drag this formula down to fill in the rest of the table, and you can see it has now ranked the values in this column. So 1 is the highest value in this column, and then 23 is the lowest value in this column because I have 23 data points. Now I can drag this formula across and adjust it to calculate the ranks for the other column. And now I have these two ranked ranges. I can use the correlation formula again, but this time select the ranked columns as my arrays. And this will give me the Spearman's correlation. So the Spearman's correlation is just the Pearson's correlation, but instead of using the actual values, you use the ranked ranges instead. Now with the rank average formulas, it doesn't actually matter if you choose ascending or descending order for these formulas, just so long as you do the same for both columns. So you can see here that this number is the same as it was before. And you also don't need to include this last number. If you leave it out, it will just use the default settings, which is descending order. And you can see this number here is the same again. Now I'm also going to plot these ranges, so I'm going to press Alt F1 again and then add in a trend line and I'm going to add in the r squared value and make this a little bit bigger. And now if I move this out of the way, this r squared value is again this value squared. So you can see that this is the same number as this here. Now, one of the easiest ways of demonstrating why you might want to use the Spearman's correlation is if you had some outlier values. So if I change one of these values down here to a really high value in comparison to the rest of the data, you can see that it affects the correlations. I now have this very high value here, and the Pearson's correlation has decreased. It was previously 0.8, but it's now decreased down to 0.2, whereas the Spearman's correlation hasn't been as badly affected. It decreased only slightly from 0.8 to 0.7. So the advantage of the Spearman's correlation, or one of the advantages, is that it is less affected by outliers. I'm just going to undo this so I get back to my numbers. Now, you might want to calculate the Spearman's correlation without having to have these extra columns in here. And you can do this by turning the rank average formulas into array formulas. So I'm going to copy and paste my headings again. And to do an array formula, you need to select the whole of the column, then go to the formula bar and do equals rank.average, then select the whole of this range, then select the whole of this range again. And what this formula is going to do, it's going to look at the first number in this range, then find its position in this range and rank it. Then it will go down to the second number in this range and rank its position in this range. And it will do that for all of the numbers. And I'm going to close brackets. Then you need to hold down Control, Shift and Enter in order to get the array to work. Now if I hide this column here, you can see that I get the same numbers as I did before when I was using the rank average formula normally. I'm going to unhide that. Now, as I am using the newer version of Excel, I can actually do this in a different way. I can do equals rank.average, then I can select all of this range, and then select all of this range again and press enter, and it will spill the array to fill the correct number of cells. If you are using an older version of Excel, you will still be able to do all of these formulas. You will just have to select the correctly sized range first, then go into the formula bar and type in your formula, and then press Control, Shift and Enter in order to get it to work. And you will end up with these curly brackets either side of the array formula. Now that I have calculated the rank average formulas just in one cell, I can put these formulas inside a correlation formula. So I'm going to do equals correlation, and then the first array is going to be rank.average, and I'm going to select this range here and then this range here and close brackets. And then the next array is going to be rank.average, and I'm going to select this range here and this range here, and then close brackets and close brackets again and enter. And you can see I end up with the same number I did before. The difference is with this formula, I don't need these extra columns here. Now, you might be curious about the actual maths that is going on behind this formula, and that is this equation here. So if I calculate this equation here, I'm going to need to calculate the D value, and this is the difference, and is the difference between the ranked X values minus the ranked Y values. And then I'm going to double click to fill in the rest of the table. And I actually need D squared, so I'm going to square all of these values. I'm going to select this and square it, and then double click to fill in the rest of this column as well. And this symbol here means I actually need to sum these values together. So I'm going to do equals sum, and then sum together all of the D squared values. Now I also need to know what n is, and n stands for the number of data points. And for this I can just do equals count, and it's going to count how many data points I have for me, and I can select any one of these columns and it will give me the number 23. Now I have those numbers, I can calculate this equation. I can do equals 1 minus, then open brackets twice, then 6 times by the sum of D squared, which in my case is 332, then close brackets, divide by open brackets, and then I need to do n cubed, so n is 23 to the power of 3, and then minus n, which is 23 again, and then close brackets and close brackets again and enter, and you can see that I ended up with the same number that I had before. So this is what the actual formula is doing. Now the next thing we need to consider is that you might have some missing values, you might have some blank cells. But if I delete one of these values, the formula stops working. The Pearson's formula can handle blank cells because it just ignores them. However, the Spearman's formula can't handle them because the rank average formula produces an error for a blank cell. So we need to find some way around this. I'm also going to delete one of the values up here so you can see it working in both directions. Now if I add in some space to the side over here, I am going to copy and paste these ranges. Then I can delete all of the rows that have blank values in them, and then just move these values upwards. And then I can calculate the correlations formula for this range. So equals and you can see it has calculated a Spearman's correlation here, which is slightly different to the one I had before, but I am now missing two numbers. What I want is to find a way of getting this number without having to manually delete and then move all of the numbers. So to do this, I am going to insert some more space over here and do some if formulas. So my if formula is going to be if this value here is equal to blank, but then I'm going to put brackets around this and I'm going to put a plus sign in. And in Excel, a plus symbol means or in this context. So it's saying if A2 is equal to blank or B2 is equal to blank, then I want it to give me a blank value. And if not, I want it to give me the value in A2 and close brackets and enter. And now if I fill in the rest of this column, you can see that it's continued to see this blank cell here as a blank, but it's also changed this cell here to a blank because there's a blank value next to it. Now I can also do this as an array formula, so equals if, and then I'm going to select the whole of this range, and if anything in this range is equal to blank, or anything in this range is equal to blank, then I want it to give me a blank value, and if not, I want it to give me the values in this range, and close brackets. And you can see here it has again missed out these two values. Now I can try doing the rank average formula with this by selecting this range and then this range again and enter. But it's not going to like the blank values. I'm going to get these error messages. So I need to put an if formula around this as well. And I'm going to say if anything in this range is equal to blank, then I want it to give me a blank value. And if not, I want it to calculate the rank for me, and enter. And you can see now everything else has stayed the same, but these two numbers, these two error messages have disappeared. And I should be able to just drag this across to fill in this column as well. And now I've done that, I can use the correlation formula again and select these two new ranked columns. And this gives me the same number that I got over here when I manually deleted the missing values, or the values next to the missing values. Now, if you wanted to do this without having all of these extra columns in place, that is more complicated, because you can't just copy and paste this into the rank average formula. I can try to do it by copying this section here into here, and this still works and you still get the same result. Then I can copy the whole of the formula into the beginning of the rank average formula, and you can see that still works. The problem is when you copy and paste it into this part here, you then get all of these value error messages. So you can't combine these two formulas together. The rank average formula can't handle it. The next thing I suggest you do is go on this website here and download a free Excel add-in called Real Statistics. There is very detailed instructions about how to download this add-in on the website. So I'm just going to leave a link to this website in the description box. But once you've downloaded this add-on, you should get a new formula, which is equals S correlation, and the S stands for Spearman's, so this will calculate the Spearman's correlation for you. So I can select this array here and this array here, and it will give me these three numbers. If I add in a 1 afterwards, it will also give me labels for what all of these numbers are. So the row is the same as the R value, and then the T, stat, and the P value are measures of the uncertainty in the correlation, but I am just going to be ignoring those numbers. What I want to draw your attention to is the fact that this number here is actually slightly different to this number here. And that is because this formula is actually still ranking this number here and this number here, even though there's nothing next to them to compare to. So that means the ranks for each of the columns are slightly offset from each other. In order to fix this, we need to take our if formula here and copy and paste it inside the S correlation formula. So I'm going to copy it first into the first array and then into the second array. And in the first array, I actually need to change this. So instead of giving me the results for the B column, it gives me the results for the A column, and then enter. And now you can see I have the same number here as I had here. So our Spearman's correlation formula is working correctly. So in this video, I have shown you how to calculate the Spearman's rank correlation in Excel, and also how to calculate it with missing values. Okay, and that is everything.